Hello, Noobs. So, we have started a new podcast for auditory listeners and it will be available on every major platforms. Please kindly hit the follow button and subscribe our YouTube channel for the daily updates.
Today we are going to discuss about the infection of endometrium. It is otherwise called as endometritis. Endometritis in the sense it is the infection of lining of uterus. It's not life threatening, but it should be treated as much as possible. It can be treated with antibiotics. What are the causes of endometritis? Mainly, if you have any sexually transmitting infection like chlamydia and gonorrhea, and if you have any tuberculosis, and it may be due to normal vaginal bacteria, that may also happen. These are all the main causes of endometritis. What are the risk factors of endometritis? Mainly, the first risk factor is cervicitis, that's infection of a cervix. And the second one is if your labor will be prolonged or it may be due to any cesarean section, that also a factor for endometritis. Next factor is if you've gone for any abortion procedure like dilatation and curettage, that will also a risk factor for endometritis. And another risk factor is hysteroscopy. And the last one is if you use any IUD, that's intrauterine device, that may also cause endometrium to infection, that's endometritis. These are all the main risk factors of endometritis. What's the symptoms of endometritis? Mainly, you may feel pain in your pelvic area, abdominal area, and in your rectal area, and you have fever, constipation, and for you may feel vaginal bloating, a vaginal discharge, vaginal bleeding may occur, and abdominal swelling may occur. All these are the main symptoms of endometritis. How endometritis will be diagnosed? Usually, your gynecologist will do a pelvic examination, a physical examination, and a laparoscopy, and mainly a blood test, and a biopsy will be taken for any malignancy. All these are the main diagnostic tests that are used for endometritis. And last test is a culture, maybe that's mainly urine culture may be taken for detecting the pathogens like chlamydia and gonorrhea may be also done. These are all the main diagnostic methods. Next we are going to discuss about the treatment methods of endometritis. Usually the gynecologist will prefer an antibiotics for the treatment. It will be alright when you follow the antibiotic properly. The antibiotic usually given are levofloxacin and metronidazole for 14 days. If you follow this medication properly, you can get rid of your endometritis. What are the follow-up activities that you have to follow? Mainly, if you have any sexually transmitting infection like gonorrhea and chlamydia, in this case, you have to follow a barrier method, that mainly condom you should have to use or to prevent other complications and other diseases. And you have to maintain a personal hygiene, and your vagina should be cleaned properly to avoid from any other diseases. These measures are used to be done properly. And the main thing is if you are using a tampon and any other thing like menstrual cup, all these are to be cleaned properly. And cotton tampons are usually safe and effective. In this manner, you can prevent from endometritis and the infection of any other part of your body. So, these are the main methods of treatment and follow-up activities that you have to follow. What are all the complications of endometritis? Mainly, infertility is the first complication of endometritis, and the second one is pelvic peritonitis, and the third one is infection or pus collection or abscess in the uterus and vagina, and the fourth one is septic shock, and the last one is septicemia. These are all due to a bacterial infection. If you prevent endometritis by the proper treatment method, you can prevent these complications also. That's all today. I will reach you on with another day with another topic. Stay home, stay safe.